It's quickly approaching 10:30 a.m. on Saturday morning, August 12th, 2017. Folks are gathering for the yard sale. It's town-wide yard sale in Champlain, New York, and every year around this time, the Champlain Telephone Company and PrimeLink take advantage of the day to also have their Customer Appreciation Day. And a little bit later on, we're going to have some music from these four folks, and we're going to try to find some people to talk to, so don't go away. They're not running it through the metal grommets. They're running it through some plastic grommets at the end, so we'll see how that works out when the wind picks up. Local Boy Scouts flag ceremony. Big flag this year. It's like a, wow. It'll be it's bigger than a 5x8 even. That's a 6x. There's the official flag ceremony. A local Boy Scout troop. Flag is just a wee bit big for the pole. The standard is 5 feet for every foot of the length of the flag. So a 3 by 5 would be on a 25-foot flagpole, a 4 by 6 on a 30-foot flagpole, and a 40-foot flagpole would have a 5 by 8. This looks even bigger than a 5 by 8, and it's about a 20 to 25 foot flagpole, so a little bit big, but there's a lot of flag there on this August 12th. We were here a year ago, and the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that, but I want to particularly talk about a year ago. Vicki Marking, the marketing director of Prime Link and Champlain Telephone Company. Here's your unicyclist.
Yeah.
wonder if he's going to show up here. He did. It's supposed to be on at 11, so just very shortly. But a year ago I was here, and it was the driest summer we've had in a long time, except for
the day of our event. I think we were hiding under a tent, weren't we, during the interview?
And this year's been one of the wettest summers we've had in a long time, and we had blue skies when I showed up, and earlier this morning we had a deluge, and we're kind of hoping to dodge the raindrops right now, aren't we?
We're just hoping that it holds off so we get a little bit of sunshine in. You know, I said this summer it's been so hard to plan anything. You take what you can get, and we're getting a little bit of blue sky right now, so we'll take it and enjoy it.
I learned a long time ago that that old adage is true. You can't worry about things that you can't change, so don't stress over it.
This morning people were getting worried about, everything was getting wet. I just said, hey, we're going to do the best we can. We're going to go forward, and we're going to hope for some dry spots in between.
I noticed your tent has gotten bigger.
Yes, we've added more tents too, if you noticed. It's a good thing with the summer we've had. We figured a little bit more cover would be good.
Just for the shade.
Yes, because we're going to have all that sunshine.
Okay, you were about to say actually what? You forgot.
I've forgotten now,
yeah,
Calvin.
I get derailed easily too.
Yeah,
so.
Me too. Me too.
But it's a good turnout here early, but as the day goes on and the band starts playing, the crowd will get here even more.
It is. That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, actually, it's still early, and this isn't a bad crowd for, considering that it's been raining this morning. And we haven't quite started serving lunch yet, so I expect that the crowd will pick up as the day goes on. And we have the band here for a couple of hours, so that'll bring in a lot of people too. So
I talked to them, and they were hoping that it wouldn't rain on their concert.
They are very much hoping for good weather. It's hard when you have all of the band equipment outside and everything.
Yes, I felt sorry for last year's group.
Yeah, and they really held out. We had plastic on the speakers, and it's really great that we have a lot of wonderful people who do what they have to do to try to make this a great event, which is nice. It's fun.
It says on your shirt that I'm supposed to ask you about some 10-digit dialing thing. What's that all about?
Yes, so if you haven't heard already, August 19th begins what they're calling a area code overlay, which means that starting on August 19th, everyone in our area is going to have to dial 518 and then their phone number. So,
if they're calling locally.
Even if calling locally,
if you're calling Vermont, you don't dial 518.
Yeah. No, I mean, every number that you dial here locally in the area, even if you're calling the person next door, you are going to be dialing, if it's a 297 number, you're going to dial 518, 297, and then the rest of the person's phone number. And I think that might be the first thing of hamburgers. And that's going to affect everybody. It's anybody that's lives in the 518 area code, which basically is from Albany up to us, is going to now have to do this. And that's basically being caused by, this is not something that we're doing. It's going to affect everybody. It affects cell phones. It affects every telephone provider. And it's basically being driven by the fact that there are not enough number combinations left in the 518 area code. So therefore they're bringing in a new area code to our area, and new people that are getting phone numbers, moving into the area, increasing their lines, opening a business, will actually more than likely get assigned the new area code, which is going to be 838. So you'll start hearing people in our area saying 838. Exactly, 838-298.
No, I don't think Champlain necessarily is running low on numbers. Are we still going to do it?
I was going to, I try not to confuse the issue because this is it's a big change for a lot of people. But for us, for those people that have us as a service provider, they probably won't see anybody getting 838 numbers because in our case, we still have quite a few number combinations available, like the 298, the 297, the exchanges that we have 236 for more. Those exchanges, we still have a fair amount of numbers, but that's not the case across the board for every provider. So if you have us as your service provider or you come to us, you probably won't see us giving out 838 numbers, at least not right now, currently. But in the future, at least, if we get into a situation where we don't have very many numbers left.
And out come the 838.
Out come the 838 numbers.
So somebody can have an exact same phone number as you, except for the 838 or the 518.
That is true.
And I know there has been some confusion. Some people think
it does. It confuses a lot of people. That's why we've tried to 10-digit dialing, just meaning that remember that come August 19th.
Let's amble over this way as it's raining.
This way. We'll go.
Keep talking.
As August 19th rolls around, people just need to remember that basically the only thing that'll change immediately is that whenever you would have dialed a local number, like you would have called here, let's say, and
call Hometown Cable 298.
Exactly.
4663.
The only thing that's going to now change is you're going to dial 518-298. So that's why the stickers today, because
you have to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Or your call will not go through.
Right.
And you will get a message if you forget, which a lot of us are going to, and you dial the 7 digits. What will happen is you'll just get a you'll get a message, saying, your call can't be completed as dialed. You need to dial the area code before the number. So you'll get something similar to that. So that's going to be happening the 19th. We have tried, the people that have Champlain telephone service have probably seen messages on their bills, they've seen inserts, we have a banner hanging on the building, we're all wearing our stickers today, so we're trying to educate the community as much as we can, but it is going to be a big change for people. People tend to see it and they think, I don't think that affects me.
Yeah, that doesn't affect me.
For some reason, I'm not really sure why a lot of people think that, but they think it's like some kind of a subset of the population, but it's everybody that lives in our area is going to be.
If you have a phone. If you don't have a phone, then it doesn't affect you.
Exactly. If you don't have a cell phone and you don't have a landline, then that's the only way it's not going to affect you. So, so it's just a few weeks away.
Well, it's 1 week away. Today's the 12th.
That's true.
It's a week away. It's the 19th. Yes.
I'm in denial that the summer is like partway over.
I know.
Yes, you're right. You're only 7 days from today. It's next Saturday that it goes into effect.
So all you people watching in the future, it's part of what you're doing on a daily basis right now. But for the people watching within the next 7 days, get ready. I have to admit, I had plenty of time to start practicing, and I haven't started practicing. Have you?
I can't. I have started practicing when I write my phone number. Sometimes you don't always write the 518, and every time I write it, I think, okay, Vicki, you're the one preaching about this. You need to make sure you include the 518. Dialing, I have to say, I really haven't started practicing, so it's probably going to be as hard for me as everyone else. But it's years and years worth of what's become common for us.
Right.
So it'll take some repetition. The thing that people want to remember too is on top of the dialing is if business owners, you want to make sure that your 518 is on your business cards, it's on your letterhead. Basically anywhere that you write your phone number, you want to make sure that the 518 is included, because going into the future, there will be people, as you said, with the 838 area code, and you want to make sure that you have that distinguished. You've already put that out there.
Yeah, well, I think the habit has been, if you're dealing with local people, you haven't been including the 518, but something like a business card, well, you might hand that out to anybody, it's kind of common on the business cards, but not necessarily on
not necessarily
on your local,
exactly, depending on what you're marketing to.
You're trying to reach. So if you're just reaching the local people, you didn't have to put that 518.
Exactly.
But now you do.
So just another thing to just think about. People that have things like automatic, like if you have people on speed dial, if you have favorites in your cell phone, you need to make sure that all of those are programmed in with the 518, or those won't work either. So just things to think about.
I don't know if it looks like the sun is shining again.
I know we went through a little bit of a raindrop, and now we've got shadows. That's a good.
That's good.
That's a good
Of course,
thing.
I've seen rain and shadows many times, but
So we're doing both this summer at the same time.
Yes, I know. And I saw a beautiful rainbow there. I was outside about, I don't know, maybe 7:45 or something, and it just stopped the raining. It didn't last long. About 30 seconds later, the rainbow was there, but it wasn't as dark, and
Yep.
it was really nice for a moment or two. So what else are you doing here besides handing out free food and painting faces and selling stuff for a yard sale?
So
and
the
bouncy
main
house?
focus today is that we're on top of obviously this being an appreciation day and a thank you to all of our local customers. We always make this into a fundraiser, and this year we're supporting the local libraries. So some of the informational tables that you see over here, we have the Moores Library here today, and the Champlain Library here today. We invited actually all 4 of the libraries in our local serving area. And any of the money that we raise today, whether that be through the raffle tickets that you saw that are being sold, or we put out tip jars, so if people choose to throw a couple of bucks in as they're getting their food today, any proceeds, the garage sale, which I should mention,
Right.
the garage sale is part of Town Life Garage Sales. Any of the money that we make today will be divvying up between our 4 local libraries in Champlain, Rouse's Point, Altona, and Moores.
All right, I have to admit, I don't think I know where the Altona Library is.
It is actually in the town hall.
Okay.
And I think they actually refer to it as the Altona Reading Room. It's a
Okay.
smaller area, and it's part of the town hall facility.
Okay.
And then, of course, I'm sure you know, Champlain, Rouse's Point, and Moores has a nice new library. I think they're celebrating their 100th anniversary.
I don't know what they're doing. I'm doing
I
a
think
story with them in 10
They have a
days.
big anniversary, I
In
think.
10 days, we're doing a story with them because they're still trying to get that new building
Yep.
up and
Up
operating.
and running. Yep.
So we'll be doing a story with them very shortly.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, and then you're talking about the services you have to offer here.
Yep, we are absolutely. We have some demonstrations going on in the front of the building in our customer service area. We're actually talking to people about what you're able to get just with an over-the-air antenna. We actually are demoing one today that we have here on the building just to show people how easy it is to get your local channels just with an over-the-air antenna. And then talking some too about streaming services and what you're able to get as far as television content over the internet, like through different services like Netflix and Hulu and all of those different kinds of things. Just trying to kind of educate people on what's out there and where you can get content.
And Hometown Cable has 4,000 videos available. free,
Absolutely. That's a perfect example, actually, of how much content you can find online without necessarily having to have, a huge cable package in order to do it. You go watch all of your videos, Calvin, right online.
You can watch this right here.
Exactly. You can watch this very thing right online.
On demand, so you can watch it over and over and over
Well,
again.
I will tell you that people come in all of the time, and we hear that they want to make sure that they can, whatever they do, that they can still have access to hometown cable programming. We have people say it all the time when they come in here, which is great. So they're supporting us, hometown. They're supporting you. It's nice to hear.
Our 35th year of covering folks, so we've been.
Yeah, people want to make sure
Have a
that
bit
they
of a
can see what's
library.
going on in the community. Nobody else really does that.
Not to the extent that we do,
Yeah.
up close and personal. But,
Yep, absolutely.
and I don't think you're going to go anywhere in the world and find what we have done in the last 35 years. To be honest with you, to the extent that we've done it. But we're not here to talk about Hometown Cable. We're here to talk about the telephone company and PrimeLink and all those good things you guys do.
Yep. So that's what so that as far as our demonstrations and stuff today, that's what we're focusing in on. And of course, while people are here, we hope that they're asking about, traditional telephone service and our internet service, as well as how they can, what we can do for them, how we can upgrade their service. It's an opportunity if people are having any issues or have questions about their services to be able to do that. Customer service is open all day today, which is nice.
If people have questions about the high-speed internet, you can stop in here just about any time or call, right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, if people have questions about, what speeds they can get in their area, or if they're concerned about why they're not getting a certain speed in their area, we would be more than happy to take those questions. There are some upgrades coming. I don't know if anybody has read. There's been a couple of articles. The weekly paper did an article. We are part of we've gotten some funding through the New York State broadband program, so we are going to be doing some upgrading of our network. But it's not, I wish I could say it was the entire network, but the way that the New York State broadband program works, you have to qualify, and only certain areas qualify. They have to be considered underserved. So basically it's the areas that are the most rural that are going to be getting the services, which will make some people happy, but not everybody. But I look at it like any money that's coming from the state to help us improve our network and improve our infrastructure is all good, positive stuff for the future. So that will be coming. People will see us out doing some construction and some work on the lines and everything. That'll be all part of that project. It's going to be actually a 2-year project by the time it's all done.
So any place that you offer phone service, do you also offer internet service?
We do. Any place that there is phone service offered, we do offer internet service. It's not always the same speed in all of the areas because it's distance dependent. Right. So
if you're the only one down that half-mile stretch of road.
So I'm careful. Like if you're in an area where you're there's only 2 houses on your street, let's say, and you're very far away, then you are you're definitely getting a different speed than like the people that are living in, say, the village of Champlain or the village of Rouse's Point. And again, that's why we went and applied for some of this grant funding, because it's a great way to be able to upgrade the infrastructure and be able to offer higher speeds to more people, and starting with the most rural areas.
Yeah, so the ones who need it the most.
Exactly,
will be
because the people
first.
who have been kind of feeling the pain of the slower speeds for the longer period of time, those are the people they want to get to first, and they want to provide that funding for. So.
Yeah, well, and if you're going down a stretch of road to get to these people, well, chances are you'll be improving what's happening along that stretch of road to get there.
Absolutely. That is absolutely the thought process, because you have to, obviously, if you're going to serve those people in the outlying areas, you have to build it to get to them.
Right.
And so then you've improved all of that infrastructure on the way as well. So, and then that opens up the ability for us to later on, after this particular project is done, to improve some of our other outlying areas. Once you get the backbone improved, then it gives us an opportunity to be able to do more for more people. So it's all good. It's going to be a very big project, and working with the state of New York is always a challenge.
But in a good way.
In a good way. It is a good. The broadband program is a very, very good program, and it is improving the infrastructure in a lot of rural areas, including ours, which is exciting.
Okay. Anything else, Vicki, about the
I don't think
company
so. I'm
family?
happy to see that our crowd is increasing as we've been
look at
talking.
That blue sky up there, my gosh. It seems that once the food came out and the sun came out, the people came out.
The people came out. Yeah, no, thank you for being here. And like I said, I would just encourage people, if they are, we pride ourselves, and I say this every year, we pride ourselves on being the local, telephone and internet provider. People, were customers of ours long ago and haven't been since, or, we would love to have an opportunity to talk to people. We do a lot of incentives for people to come back to us, including that if people come back and they get phone and internet, say they were customers years ago or they're first-time customers, we're doing a $300 gift card promo for coming in as a new customer. We are constantly doing different kinds of promotions and stuff. Today, part of what we're doing is we're going to do a drawing for, I don't know if you've seen the new fancy Amazon Echo Show. It now has a little video screen on it.
No.
Where they're demoing it over in the front. And that's our giveaway, actually. So for people who come back to us as new customers, they've automatically been entered. And people who upgrade their service in any way today, through the end of today, also are eligible to win. And so we're going to be giving that away at the end of the day. It's kind of a fun new technology gadget. You don't maybe really need it, but it's fun to have.
We're in an era where Amazon is taking away and closing a lot of local stores.
That's true.
And if people want people to have local jobs, they got to start thinking locally. Mm-hmm. People say, no place for my kid to work, so support the local area, and maybe there'll be a place for your kid to work.
Right.
Stop going online to buy stuff. Go down to the local store, down to the local mall, and buy stuff. And you look at the number of employees that Champlain Telephone and PrimeLink has. And when you pick up that phone and call, you're not going to get somebody in.
No, you can be
some
insured.
strange, far
Probably
off
the
place. You're gonna
furthest, the furthest you're going to get is the Plattsburgh office. If you're, if you live in the northern tier, you pick up the phone and you call. The furthest away you're going to get someone in Plattsburgh, and more than likely you're going to end up right here in Champlain. And you can come in any day of the week, and you can pay your bill, and you can ask questions. And we try to do as much as we can to support the local community in return. I mean, we do a huge amount of donations for the local sports teams, local organizations. We try to be as involved as we can be. If the community supports us, we try to do it back in return. That's the whole reason why I wanted to come to work here, was because I love this atmosphere, and it's important to me the company supports the community that, gives back to the community that's supporting them. It's a wonderful tradition here. I mean, we've been around for over
114 years.
14, yeah. I'm like going, it gets away from me. I'm thinking about it. So it's a tradition in this community, which is a pretty neat thing. And even though we've grown, we have stayed true, I think, to the local community here.
All right. Well,
all right.
Keep up the good work, and
Try.
if people want a free hamburger, then
Absolutely
this is
stop
Customer
by.
Appreciation Day, so
Yes.
you become a customer. Although you don't check IDs when they show up, I guess.
We don't. Although the nice thing is that we recognize most of our customers. That's something that not many people can say.
Yeah.
We recognize most of our customers, and you get a free hamburger, hot dog, cookies, some chips, and hang out and have fun with the kids.
Win-win. Thank you, Vicki Marker.
Thank you.